Hey guys, welcome back. In last lecture we create car class and also instances of this class car and car2. In this lecture we'll continue and we'll clean up our code. So let's start, open your conjugators as always, and let's move our class to a separate file because there is no reason to have a car class in the same file as our main app.js. It will be not very readable and not very obvious what is happening inside of this file when we have here multiple classes. Let's imagine we will have here other classes, our run application code will grow, we'll have here other functions, and everything will stay into one file. It will be not very obvious what is happening here. Okay, you can see right now I have here 87 lines when I duplicated my car class. Okay, I will revert these changes. I want just one class of my car. Let me revert this. Okay, so now we have here one class. Okay, I will change this so we can see here our files. Okay, so let's move our car class to a separate file. Okay, I will create here a new file and I will call it car.js. I will capitalize C so we know it's a car class. Okay, now I will simply copy our class car. Let's copy, let's remove it, and let's keep here only run app function. Okay, so now let's go to our car.js and let's paste this code here. Okay, now we have here our car class. Indentation is here for space. Okay, we need to set spaces globally. I will do it actually next lecture. For 2 spaces, or maybe we can do it right now. I'm not very familiar with Visual Studio Code. I am using it rarely. Let's take a look how we can set up indentation of 2 spaces. So let's see. Somewhere here must be settings. If I will not find it in 20 seconds, I will do it in the next lecture. And because I don't want to spend here much time. Okay, let's see common settings here. Okay, this cog here and settings. All right, search setting. Let's say spaces. All right, insert spaces. All right, tab size, and I think it's here tab size. All right, maybe I can set here 2. All right, and let's create here a new file so I'll verify everywhere are new spaces. So new file, I will call it test.js. All right, let's close this. And yeah, indeed, I have here 2 spaces set up. Okay, perfect. Okay, we can remove this test.js. And let's take a look on our car. Now we can import our class car to our app.js because our app.js file has no idea that we have here some car class. When I will run this file, this will not work. You can see it when I will run here node app.js, you will see car is not defined because there is no information about the car in our app.js file. We have here this information only in the car.js. So what we need to do here, we need to specify here module.exports, and we need to assign to module.exports data we are exporting. In this case, we are exporting class car, so I need to define here our car. Just like this, module exports car. Perfect, let's save this. Let's go to our app.js, and in app.js we need to import car. So let's simply create here const car, and let's assign to a car require, and we need to provide here a path to our app.js, to our car.js file. So I can specify here quotes because this is a string path, and I know my car.js is in the same folder, is on the same level as our app.js. So I can specify here dot and a slash that is saying I am on the same level as my app.js. Okay, so my car.js is in the same folder as my app.js, so dot and a slash, name of our file, which is a car.js. Okay, now let's save this. Let's go back to our terminals. Let's run this, and you will see everything is working as before. All right, I can simplify. I don't need to specify your extension on the file. I can just write here dot slash and a car, and this should work the same. So when I will go here, node app.js, everything is working, and now you can see it's much better readable. We have here only one run app, we know that we are importing here a car class. When we want to look up our car class, we can just simply go to our car.js and we know what our car class is doing, what properties and what functions we have specified here on a car class. Amazing. So since our code is clean up, we can also remove these comments here. We don't need them and you can still find them in the resources of each lecture. I would like to explain you one thing. You don't need to understand it completely right now because we'll be talking about this thing in the details in the later sections. But please, let's write here debugger, or actually not debugger, but let's write here breakpoint, and let's run our code. Okay, so let's run our code. I would like you to inspect our car. You can see here we have here class car. And on a class car, we have a special property, prototype, which is an object. Prototype object, and prototype object is holding constructor of a car class and also display info and also underscore proto underscore. I will be talking about this a little bit later. But you can see here prototype is holding constructor and display info and a proto. Then you will take a look on the instance itself, so instance of your car class, so car here or car2, you will see here is a proto, and this proto here, actually I'm hovering over the wrong one, car here is a proto, alright, it's very hard to hover over, okay, so proto here, and you can see here on my instance of my car class I have a proto and a constructor display info and underscore proto underscore, which is the same as my prototype of my class car. So when your class car is declared, prototype is added automatically to your class. So this prototype object is added automatically, and when you are creating instance of the class, this prototype is actually created also on your instances under the name of a proto underscore proto of an instance of a class is pointing to the same prototype of your class. If you don't believe me, you can also see it in a console log. So when I will write your console log, and when I will compare our car prototype is the same as a car proto, so underscore proto underscore, or with the car to proto is the pointing to the same prototype. Okay, when I will write here breakpoint here, let's run this, you will see that it will return true because the car prototype is the same as our car proto and a car to proto. And this is very important because as you can see here, when we are creating instance of a class, the protos are pointing to the same prototype. So this functionality actually making our code reusable. So we can call the same functions on my car and a car 2 and so on. So when I'm creating more instances, I am still just pointing to the same prototype, and I can reuse our function. Okay, actually about this we'll be talking in much more detail when we'll be talking about the inheritance, but I just want to show you this very interesting thing you can see on your objects called prototype on a class and proto on your instances of the class from which these objects were created from. But this lecture was not about the prototype and the protos. This was actually about the importings here. So we separated our car class, we imported it here, and we used it here successfully. And that should be in this for this lecture. In next lecture, we'll continue. I would like to talk about the if statements, so about the conditionals, operators, if statements, and also I would like to talk about the arrays and iterations, and then we can get back to our classes and more complicated topics. I highly encourage you to create some more classes. You can create classes, for example, of animals, maybe of dogs, of cats. You can create there some function console, some informations, and just try to play with this data and to be sure that you understand this concept correctly. If you have any problems to understand some concept, just write me. I will try to understand it in a more details, or I will point you to some additional resources. Guys, that should be it for this lecture, and let's continue in the next one. Cheers.